Mark Merovitz, who is Professor of Constitutional Law at the State University of New York. Mark, thanks very much indeed for your company. And do we know exactly why the State Department has changed this wording at this time?
Well, I don't really get it, honestly, because if you look at the language, honestly, it really doesn't do a lot. I mean, it basically says, we support a one China policy and we don't believe in tension and we want peace and we don't support Taiwan's independence. So they cross that out. And to me, it doesn't really make a difference. I mean, the fact is the United States has pursued what we call strategic ambiguity, which means that we don't ever say that we believe in Taiwan's independence and we believe in a one China policy. Yet at the same time, China has been taking advantage of that because what they've been doing are maneuvers around Taiwan, military maneuvers, and also pressuring the states in the South China Sea and using all sorts of things to impress their power on these various states. So, I mean, to me, it's just really totally meaningless, this change, and it shows China's overreaction to this is quite surprising because the United States is not changing its policy on strategic ambiguity. We're not saying anything because we've never said outright that we support Taiwan's independence. I should mention, you might recall that President Biden had said once and again another time, would you defend Taiwan if it were attacked by China? Yes, I would. And then the White House walked it back. So I don't think the United States is being provocative here. I think China's overreacting. The truth of the matter is they should not have the right to take over Taiwan. It's a separate state, and they shouldn't have the right to do it. So by being so sensitive, it's a problem.
And indeed, under President Biden, he increased U.S. presence with important visits like Nancy Pelosi's to Taiwan, which also ruffled Chinese feathers. All this has happened, just a few weeks after Donald Trump has taken office. Is this a coincidence, or do you think it signifies a change in approach under the new president?
I have to say it's very hard to predict coincidences with President Trump. I mean, you've got the Gaza proposal, you've got the Ukraine war, now you have Taiwan and crossing out the sentence and hundreds of executive orders. So are there coincidences here? Is it an organized policy? Hard to tell. Yet at the same time, I don't think this marks a real departure in America's position towards Taiwan. Taiwan is an ally of the United States. We totally support defending Taiwan against Chinese aggression. And similarly, as we defend the Philippines and these other countries against Chinese aggression and opening the seas, I don't think there's a darn bit of difference in what happened yesterday in terms of what's happening today. The problem is, and I think the Economist magazine pointed this out, that by making the change, it maybe stimulates an overreaction by China. So I'm questioning, why did the United States, why did somebody cross this out? Were they trying to make a point? The point is obvious, that we have a strategic ambiguity. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should come out and say, we support Taiwan. What would be the big difference between what we're saying today and what we're saying tomorrow? Because we do. I mean, maybe hint, hint, we don't say it, but fact of the matter is we do. So I think this is much of a tempest in a teapot. And by the way, China's been sending balloons over Taiwan, buzzing their coastline, doing all sorts of things, which are very, very provocative. So maybe China should stop doing its provocations, and then maybe people won't be crossing out sentences, if you see my point. So I think it's on both sides.
Well, maybe it'll be reinstated, that sentence in the wording, just like it was when it was briefly deleted back in 2022. Mark, we'll leave it there. We thank you very much, as always, for joining us on the News Hour. Mark Merovitz there joining us live. Thank you very much indeed.